This is the all-new Novritsch SSR77, and I just have one question. Does this suffer from bullpup syndrome? Let's find out. So full disclosure, Novritsch did send this out to me to review for you guys. I'm not being paid to say anything nice about it. I know a lot of you guys probably thinking I'm Novritsch shill over here, but I promise I will keep this review as bias-free as possible. I'm really liking this, and I think it is a cool alternative to the AR market out there. There are tons of nostalgic guns for me out there in the world. This is definitely one of them. We did some private games just with some buddies today. Figured I'd give it a test and actually try it in a game scenario before I kind of get my thoughts on it. So kind of the only issue that I'm really running into with this AUG is the mag insertion. And you just kind of gotta give it the beans when you're sticking it in. It's just a little different. You really gotta hear that that feeding sound once you kind of insert it, or else you're gonna have some dry fires, which is not great. So just keep that in mind if you are picking one of these up. Kind of the thing that I've been praising Novritsch the most about over the last little while has been their barrels, their hop-up setup. This one's pretty cool. Let me just show you here. We just got to take out the mag, and then you just pull the bolt back here, and then the barrel actually QDs just like the real thing. If I can get it here. There we go, just like that. And this barrel feels extremely high quality on the outer barrel and the inner barrel setup as well. It's got a custom hop up, nice rotary style hop up aluminum. We're here, it's pretty cold today here in Canada, but I had no issues with the aluminum hop up kind of freezing up and not hopping correctly. So that's nice to see, but just like a very premium heart of the gun right here in terms of the barrel setup. In my opinion, especially outdoors, accuracy is the most important thing. So having a really premium feeling barrel is super duper nice, and it just kind of slots back in. There we go. Took me a second there, but we got her. And then just kind of clicks back in. That's just like the real thing. You can QD the barrels on the real thing. Also, they do have another version of this. This is the A1. This is kind of the more classic Styrog, of course. And they do have an A2, which is kind of the more modern M-lock everywhere for all your attachments and stuff like that version as well. So if I was to buy one, I'd probably go with the A2. I just think it looks cooler with all the modularity and stuff. I always just like, as soon as I get a new gun, it's just like, what attachments can I throw on this thing? This one, honestly, it's kind of a different treat because there's really nowhere to put accessories, which at first I was a little bummed out about, but over time I've come to really like it because you've got an optic built right in. You don't have to go buy an optic for it. It's a pretty sweet optic. The only thing I would say is just, it's a very narrow tube to look through, so it doesn't have a lot of eye relief and stuff like that. If you're someone who runs a paintball mask, that might be something that would be a real struggle for you. So I would not recommend if you run a paintball mask. It's a very comfortable gun to use also. Very different from an AR. A lot of the weight is at the back, which kind of sounds like a bad thing, but it just sits in your arm and in your shoulder so nicely. And it's just a really comfortable gun to use, honestly. It's you don't have a lot of weight at front, so it just, yeah, you can almost like one-hand it. Like it's very, very comfortable. Also, another cool thing about the AUG platform is the two-stage trigger that's built into it. So if you don't know, if you pull kind of halfway, you get semi-auto. And if you pull all the way to the rear, then you get full auto. And that's on the real thing as well. So it's cool that it has that simulation built into this. It does have a micro switch trigger on the inside, so and a MOSFET and all that good stuff. So you can really customize this to do whatever you want. You can give it pre-cocking and make it just shoot a lot quicker in terms of that trigger response, but I have left it stock and it is fantastic. I really like the two-stage trigger, especially just kind of the environment that's around us right now. It is fall, so it's starting to open up a little bit more, but if you have that dense vegetation, especially with Airsoft's not terribly accurate, and you have to punch through a lot of bushes a lot of the times. So having that ability to go to full auto when your BBs just aren't quite getting it through is a nice thing to have, especially not having to, you know, it only takes a second to switch a selector, I guess, but it's nice just as an emergency thing. So kind of cool there as well. But yeah, the trigger feels good. It feels good for a bullpup at least. It's definitely not as good as, like, you know, my Polar Star Kythera or something like that I've put a lot of work into. but it's pretty good, especially for a bullpup, and I'm very impressed. I think this is definitely a bullpup that competes with a lot of the top tier AR-15s style replicas out on the market. I don't feel like this is a huge disadvantage or anything like that. I feel like this is the first one that is on the same playing field as those high tier AUGs. So yeah, if you're in the market for an AUG, I think this is a great one to pick up. Definitely the best one on the market. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. A lot of bullpups have been notoriously bad for a long time. They're starting to get better. This one's accuracy, reliability, and performance is definitely top tier. So if you're in the market, we'll definitely check it out. Big thank you to Novritsch for sending this out to me. Yeah, had a great time with it today, and you'll see more of it here on the channel. Thanks guys, see you in the next one. Peace.